Stafford, Bull Mastiff Cross, giving the kids a treat on a pull. He's an outstanding pull dog, is Tyson. And here, a very determined Staffordshire Bull Terrier steps in. Apparently, he's never done pulling before, but he certainly caught on quick here. He didn't let the breed down at all. The kids certainly enjoyed all of this, as witnessed here. They were all keen to take a turn. Not only was he a strong little dog doing a pull, he's a rather handsome and well-muscled hunk as well. And not to let the ladies down, we have a female Staffordshire Bull Terrier who stepped in. And that's only fair to say, as we'll see, she did not let the ladies down at all, making a very impressive pull, full of determination. Bully, an English Bull Terrier, nice and fit, around 2 years old at the time, and another one who certainly didn't let the breed down when it came to determination and athleticism. Bully here, I understand, had not done a lot of this kind of thing before, but he sure got the idea real quick, and he had a hell of a time. He didn't know about giving up. Of course, he's the Bull Terrier after all. Also, the owner showed control at the right times, making Bully let go accordingly when required. The kind of thing we all look for with dynamic dogs. Being a family show, of course, bringing along the wife and the kids is the thing to do. And here, a boxer. Got a little bit tangled up there, just warming up for later events. And here, with Susie, my boxer bitch. Susie has had a little bit of training on obedience, and she did quite well. Being a typical boxer, she's very athletic, quite intelligent, and she does like a bit of discipline, and I must say, I think they need it. The boxer is an exuberant, athletic dog, has plenty of spirit. Susie is typical and very trainable, as we'll see here. When Susie's into the athletics, she throws herself into it. She enjoys it that much. At the same time, when control is required, Susie knows what to do. Not like a soldier, but she will obey. But she does love to take a hold and hang on when required. Also when required, she will let go. Discipline is what it's all about. Yes, sir. Obedience at the right time. That's what we're looking for. And that's what Susie. Rizla, a 14-month-old English Bull Terrier. He was so fast, we almost didn't see him. We'll be seeing more of Rizla shortly. Here, a young American bulldog, around 7 months old, brought down to one of the shows, and a little bit of the crowd scene, the variety of dogs, people, kids, the family thing, as mentioned before. Here we see Dutch, Jensen's Dutch. Dutch is normally used to working to a lure. Without the lure, she's not really so keen. Now we see a lure, and we see a different Dutch. And Duchess, a female. She's an Irish Staffordshire Bull Terrier. In my ratings, one of the best at this time in the country. Here we see Bully again. Miranda is demonstrating in this instance what we always like to see, a good leave. Getting the dog to leave on command. This was very well done, Miranda, sorry. One dynamic dog is Bully. Here, Arizla again, the 14-month-old English Bull Terrier. He is a live wire. Watch this. For a young dog, he's got bags of energy. Goes over that A-frame like a rocket. He's got the right idea. He just keeps on going. And here, on the day, a Siberian Husky dropped in. As we can see, rather enjoyed the activities. You'll be seeing this Husky doing a pull later on in this film. And here, about 5 months old or 6 months old Casper, a little white Staffordshire Bull Terrier female, owned by Chris Grace. The right little fireball is Casper. You will notice how he's working on the trolley. We'll come back to that in due course. And here, on this day, Harry the Bulldog popped in to have a sniff around and see what was going on. So, here's Harry being put through the paces, and in the true Bulldog spirit, he rather enjoyed himself, did Harry. He was a young Bulldog, I understand. Adventurous, beautifully natured like most Bulldogs, and his proud owner sort of suggested if we want to let him do some more. So we did. More or less the same again. Some dogs, when they've done something, maybe not too keen to do it again. So here we asked Harry to do it all again. And here, Jensen Dutch, one of the top athletes in the country. We can see why. Determination, style, beautiful conditioning. Here on the A-frame, preparing for one of the contests that was coming up. Very impressive indeed is Dutch. I'm Ed Reid. This video film features happy, healthy, and exuberantly fit dogs in general. It's for owners wanting extra fitness for their dogs and how to do it. Many dogs take to such activities and enjoy it, being at the same time very much household pets and family dogs. Fun shows are held occasionally for owners to display their dog's dynamic prowess and for novices to bring along old Grover and see how he or she scores in friendly surroundings at these family-oriented events. Whilst other dogs are seen here, the stars in this show are boxers, English Bull Terriers, Staffords, and Pit Bulls, showing clips from past events along with current updates.
Yeah, lovely.
And again, we see Jensen's Duchess. We'll note the superb muscularity, a great love for activity. Dutch has her mind on working the treadmill, which she loves. But first of all, she has her work here, a bit of jumping, holding, shaking. This all helps to develop a beautiful muscularity and obvious good condition. It's just a treat to watch a class athlete enjoying her exercise, as she so obviously does. She's a bear for work. And yet, the very same dog in the house with young Christian, the baby, she's a lamb, a right old marshmallow, as we'll see a little clip of later on. But here, he just loves the treadmill. Just jumps right up there, waiting to get started. Ian was telling me that she would just do this all day long if you let her. Just sets a nice pace and gives herself a terrific workout. And a couple of young Staffordshire Bull Terrier puppies, around 4 months old, getting a little bit of exercise and fun. Females, the pair of them. I think they were known as Pinky and Perky. That's when they were young in particular. And here's my boxer, Susie, in playing with the kids and showing the best ways of how it's done. very good and reliable with all dogs is Susie. In this next part, we'll be looking at what we refer to as catch dog. That is a dog that follows its natural instincts, as with most dogs. For example, when you're in the park, it sees a squirrel. I think most dogs, when they see a squirrel in the park, they sort of, poof, this, they got to have a go at. And it'll run and chase and pursue and try to catch. This goes down in history with most breeds of dogs, as a hunting dog and as a natural prey hunting dog for its food. It has to chase, pursue, catch, and that's its food. So these practices that we do are based around this simple, natural, automatic characteristic in dogs to chase and catch for its food. In our particular case, we designed this on the lines of the greyhound, where they use a lure. As in our affairs, we don't use live bait of any kind. It is always assimilated prey. And the dogs quite enjoy this. It's based around the dog being able to run and chase, in which we incorporate also aspects of weight pulling and other kinds of things. With the weight pulling, for example, a dog that is introduced to the simple catch work of simply chasing something, then we would use a very light weight for it to drag and allow it to pull that a little bit with a lure, so as it's distracted so much from the weight itself and just doing a pull without even thinking about it, and then gradually building up the weight so as the dog hardly notices it. At no time do we make the dog do any kind of pulling or make the dog do anything. As a matter of fact, any of these dogs in any of our events shows any signs it doesn't want to do something, it's simply picked up and taken out. There's no force or anything like that at all. And I think that's basically the feature that we'll be looking at here. And I think that I can go into more detail afterwards. First of all, we'll have a look at some catch dog, and then we'll go into more details of this afterwards. So here we have, again, my boxer, Susie, doing some catch. Just using an old sack, a piece of rope, and that's all she needs. Susie enjoys this thoroughly. Great fun. It's a good long stretch there, about 150 feet. Here we have Buster, an English Bull Terrier. Buster has not done this before. He's around 9 months old. His owner, Nadim, seen here, was for the idea. I pointed out we would not do anything particularly extensive here. Take it easy. He's a young dog. He hasn't done it before, although Buster certainly got the flavor of this very quickly. And with Wendy, Nadine's wife, in the background, assisting with equal vigor, we're both very interested in what Bully does, providing he's enjoying himself, doesn't do himself any harm. Why not? And this is the basis of catch, getting the dog accustomed in the first place to wanting to take a hold of a moving object such as the sack. Something it can take a hold of. It's fun. He enjoys it. As we can certainly see here, there was no pressure of any kind. And as long as he wanted to do it, we would allow him to. But we did agree, because it's his first time and he's young, we weren't going to go on for any great period of time. For example, with an experienced dog, that's different. We're taking him away from the rag and then letting him pursue it. Let him do a nice catch, and then holding on, which is part of the reward of doing the run and catch in the first place. It's fun. He sure, once he got a hold, he did like to hang on, did Buster. It's great fun. And for a 9-month-old dog, we thought this was quite interesting. But again, being a bull terrier, it's not surprising. I decided we better not go too much farther. I think the dog was beginning to tire, and he certainly had the idea there was no need to labor what we were doing. And a beautiful temperament with people, always one of our priorities. I think he was getting a bit carried away with it all, was Buster and Nadine. So we more or less curtailed activities after around 10 minutes altogether. That was sufficient for the first time. And here, in a different atmosphere, we went to a place, a greyhound place, where they keep the dogs and train the dogs, and once in a while they have the Afghans and other breeds of dogs come along for a day out. It's very popular with Afghan people, having a few friends in that breed. We were invited out. And here we show a little bit of what we saw, and I brought Susie. Being a catch dog, I thought Susie would have a little go and see what it's all about. So we'll be coming back to that very shortly. A little look at the Afghans first, and then we'll come back to Susie's run. This one here is having a right good go. This was being time tested, racing on its own. Some of them do this. Yes, here's the time-tested one. I was mistaken there. Apparently it did pretty good. I think it had been recuperating from an accident, and so they raced it on its own and was timed. Seemed to have recuperated well. It kept up going. It's very dynamic about the whole thing. And the owner was quite happy with the outcome. And now we were waiting for the racing with whatever came. This was the class that, one of the classes that Susie was entered into. And here we have Toffee, a miniature bull terrier. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance I didn't get the chance, I should say, to tape this one, to film it, in which Toffee raced, but he was very, very keen, as you can see here. And it was a very small dog, but plenty to say. I think he was telling all the other dogs, you might as well have stayed home, because once I get in there. But unfortunately, I say, I didn't get a chance to film this. I would like to have, but I didn't get the chance. Here goes Susie on the outside. The boxer on the far side. Oh yeah, well, Susie wasn't in the same class as the others, but she had a good try. Here, a small American Pit Bull Terrier, knee-high, going over a 6-foot straight-up climb. We will see. Very determined, very athletic. She was around 35 or 36 pounds in weight, female, called knee-high. Here, Lady, another American Pit Bull Terrier, doing the same thing, going over the same jump. Great dynamism, determination, proverbial with the Pit Bull. Yes, Lady was great. She'd been around 5 years old at that time. 6 foot. Almost made it look easy. Good for a lady. Joe, the record-holding bulldog in Europe in 1990, an American Pit Bull Terrier, having pulled 5,439 pounds on the day. He weighed around 62 or 63 pounds. Quite a feat. In any events we're involved with, we'll keep an eye on that record. Here, a few dogs, just doing some fun racing. Here's Molly, quite an exception altogether. 3/4 Patterdale and 1/4 Lakeland Terrier, doing a pull. Considering Molly is about 16 pounds in weight, and she was 2.5 years old at that time, and that she was here pulling just over 200 pounds. We think this was exceptional. Her drive, everything about Molly. Here is one to watch. A fantastic little 16-pound terrier with guts, drive, and determination. There was Casper when just a puppy. I think we'll be hearing more about Casper. In the tail end, a Rebel, her dad. We'll be seeing Rebel doing a tire pull shortly. Just a bit of fun racing, warming the dogs up. There's Simon Woods' Spike, our Best in Show confirmation winner and a right athlete. Here's Chris Grace's Rebel, doing a nice pull, a tire pull, with considerable ease. Rebel is one to watch. a great little athlete and a great people dog. Typical Stafford. Here, we do see an example of a dog on the day who is just not quite in the mood, and he did not want to do anything, and he wasn't forced. He was taken out. He just wasn't up to it on the day. Here they are waiting for different events. Tire pulling. Little Stafford here had run a little pull. They're all waiting their turn, keen to do things. It's an English Bull Terrier, Bully, doing a good tire pull. Carefully watched by the officials, all the events. Here's the husky that dropped in, doing a pull, and in good form, I may add. The owner being a good sport, we're told that this husky has pulled in competitions. This was not a hard workout for the dog. It was nice to see, just the same. A dog that's bred for it. Of course, it didn't need any lure, being a husky. We do like to see dogs that don't need a lure, that pull on command in this form. Quite a few of the dogs at our events do this, such as here. There's Rebel, on command, pulling. And here we have a couple of Staffordshire Bull Terrier puppies having a tug of war. Well, we won't say who the winner was. They were just having a bit of fun, as we do with puppies. Yep, just a little bit of fun. Being Staffordshires, I think most people with pups such as these allow them to do these kind of things. They were around 9 weeks or so at the time. And of course, amidst the children, we always like to see the puppies around the kiddies. They get to know each other, enjoy each other's company, as these ones certainly do. That's obvious. These children have been brought up with a pit bull. This little girl, Rachel, has not been too familiar with dogs, so we see being introduced to Susie when Susie was very young. I think Susie at that time was around 5 months, 6 months, thereabouts. And Rachel was very young, maybe around a year old, and Noreen introduces them. Just nice and steady, bit of fun, that's all. They get to know each other, and they feel comfortable together. Well, we've now seen the variations that Catch Dog offers in large and small areas for testing out a dog's dynamics. Also, we're back to another all-important feature, getting the youngsters together as mates in play and exercise at home and elsewhere. The kids and pups are of paramount importance. The kids meeting dogs and dogs meeting kids. There's a bit more of that as we touch on to the show world and other matters pertaining to dynamic dogs, whilst then going into our conclusions. And here, touching on to the relating of dogs and the children. In this case, we're in the company of Margaret Hood, a respected breeder and show boxer person. With the youngster, they've never met before, the dog and that little fella, but Margaret will fill the paces with a bit of relaxation and showing the dog to the kitty. Here we have Ian Jensen and his little boy, Christian, with Dutch and Barney, both phenomenal canine athletes, great people dogs and house dogs, both at the same time. Christian thinks they're just great. And here at an English Bull Terrier show, people were very proud to have their dogs handled by the kitty. It is one of the main benefits, out of other benefits, of showing dogs. Those dogs are steady and great people dogs. As we can see here, they just love kids, and the kids are comfortable amidst them. Let's face it, a benefit from the dog showing thing, no judge worth his salt would award a dog anything. It has to be, first of all, easily handled, agreeable, and so on, as we see here. So good people dogs come from good show dogs.
What was it attracted you to the Staffordshire Bull Terrier originally?
Well, I went on holiday and I saw this bitch, red Stafford bitch. I didn't know what breed it was, but as soon as I saw it, I thought that's a dog for me.
And since then, what has held you to the Staffordshire Bull Terrier? What's the main attraction?
Well, it's the fascination of the dog, the challenge of breeding, and of course it gets in the blood, like cocaine, and also, dare I say the word sex.
Oh, well, so you're addicted.
Totally. The sex and dogs, yes.
Thank you, Alec Waters.
Right.
Here we go. Yep.
And here's a very handsome little Staffordshire Bull Terrier at one of the Kennel Club shows. This fellow is very proud of a very handsome little dog indeed. This was at the Richmond show 1 or 2 years ago, about 97. See some really nice little Staffords here. Fit on the old-time lines, very smart with it. And here at one of our shows in the confirmation classes. Basic difference between the Kennel Club shows and our shows is simply that we go a little bit wider. We aren't so strict on breed standard points. Mainly a happy, healthy, and fit-looking dog is the main criteria at our shows. Kennel Club shows are lots of fun as well. Ours are just a little bit different. Here we see again some of the crowd waiting their turn. A dog on a treadmill, one of the things we so often have, along with other athletic pursuits where dogs can show how dynamic they are, and some cases are not. This one here was pretty good on the treadmill. I think this was a cross, English Bull Terrier, Stafford. The crowd are all waiting their turn for the different events. This dog did not do so good on the treadmill, but like we say, no force. He was just taken off. And who's next? Here they are, waiting their turn for different events. Here we are at the end of the show with the winners of the confirmation, being Simon Wood's male, Spike, and Gary Bader's Roxy. The judges in particular like the old-time characteristics and physique of these dogs. Excellent people dogs at the very same time. Good winners at the show, nice condition, all the things you would look for in a good Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And here, they're posing for the last pictures of the day. Very, very nice dogs, lively, nicely handled by the judges, and nice condition, as seen here in Roxy. Spike looked very well. Lovely, fit dog. He was sired by Barney, Ian Jensen's Barney. Lovely dog. Barney and Spike. The apple did not fall far from the tree is an old saying. Just the last minute inspection, and then the end of the show. Just checking them for alertness, and they weren't lacking in anything. Roxy, very classy little female. Some of the awards at our shows. There are others. These are just showing a few. For example, in most cases, for dynamic dogs, lively, spirited, and great people dogs. Dynamic at this very same time, and given the opportunity at these shows to show their dynamism and athleticism. This still was finished around early March 1998. It was come out for release March 98. Arriving now at our conclusions, it seems that a variety of activities are becoming better known as used at our events, based around a dog's natural urges, combined with the kind of people who enjoy seeing their dogs enjoying themselves, as parents enjoy seeing their children having fun in that same way. We see these as fun events. Some can be done in your living room or your garden. Enjoyment for most dogs, wherever it is. And your dogs can enter these shows, which are held periodically. Get back to me for such information. I must tell you, do not do any kind of weight pulling exercises in public places, on roads, parks, etc. Only on private property, as it may be illegal doing so, depending on where you live. The final scenes following are a few more tips. They're just for the beginners. You might find them interesting and useful.
You can do.
Here we have a young American Bulldog. He was around 7 months old, I understand. A nice steady dog, very young. I must point out, I had to take to task the young fellow doing this pull. He did not know what to do, and he was getting it wrong. I did stop him after that pull and pointed out where he was going wrong. And on his second pull, as you will see, it was very different. We would not allow what he was doing. He was aggravating the dog. He was actually smacking the dog with the lure. This is not allowed. Look at what he's doing here correctly, and he took it all in good spirit, this fellow. He did the right thing, and I was impressed with this American Bulldog. Here we have Bully. Just giving a few tips on pulling. You could start with something lighter than this. I use this with Bully. He's a pretty big dog and quite strong. And as you can see, there's no great sweat. But the object here is to get the dog accustomed to pulling. So pulling something it can quite easily pull. Hardly knows it's pulling. Getting accustomed to the idea. And that's all. You can see here, Bully, he's pretty good. A lot of the times, Bully will pull on command. he's quite accustomed to it. Bully is a great people dog, and I just call him my bulldog, a European bulldog. Bully is a cross Dogger Bordeaux boxer. He's around 2.5 years old at this time, so he's quite an athlete. I don't care for really big dogs, but Bully is big enough for me and athlete enough for me for his size. He's around 85 pounds. He's a lovely boy, Bully. He thoroughly enjoys his exercise. And Bully, he just loves people. I've got to say that too much, because I take him out and he sees somebody, he wants to run over and play with them. But it's not everybody who wants to play with a big dog like this. So Bully has to be restricted only because of his great love of people. Quite a good athlete as well. Just showing a nice lead. This little rascal here, we call the Gypsy. She is about 10 weeks old at the time. We are just introducing the Gypsy to the lure. And I have got to say, in these early stages, she just loved to take a hold, but she just hated letting go. So it looked like it will take me a little bit of time, not on getting her to take hold, but talking her into letting go. She is tenacious. Aside from that, great little bitch, lovely with people, loves people, again, typical stepper. And I think she's got the right idea, a little bit of firmness, and the Gypsy will be all right finally. So I've got to, in the meantime, have some good talks with her about letting go. Yeah, she don't like letting go. I'll let you know in due course how I make out in that department. There, as I say, she's around 10 weeks, so we don't drive her too hard. We just encourage. That's enough. And here's Lucy. Lucy is a Stafford, around 6 months old at the time. Quite accustomed to the lure and to the flirt pole and the A-frame. She thoroughly enjoys it. It's an important part of her exercise. She's quite good on the lead, as we see here. Lovely girl. And my little friend, Caroline. I was telling Caroline, we'd just been working out with Susie, and we were putting Susie in the car. And I was saying that I'd like to take her and let her see the kids on their bobsled. They just got a bobsled, and it wasn't much snow. Matter of fact, this winter we hadn't had much snow, but they had the sled. So we thought, let's go and have a look and see what we can do with Bully and the kids and the sled. And here's Bully, who's all wound up. He loves being around the kids. Said, let's go, kids. You'll see that my lead on Bully was not tight. I was only to keep Bully in check. As a matter of fact, he got a bit carried away there, and I had to run to keep up with him. This is quite easy for Bully. He would keep looking back to see that the kids were okay. And a friend of mine's little dog here, he ran over to offer help, to see if Bully needed some help pulling. But Bully said, thank you very much, but I'll do it on my own. And Bully did a pretty good job. I think the kids enjoyed themselves. Matter of fact, I think they'd have stayed there all day. The one little boy in the front there, he's just over a year. And the other one, he's around 3. They were having a great time. And I think that just about gets us to our conclusion.